Yes, sir.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. So today we are going to start with the internal storage. In our last session, we have already discussed about the shared preferences and in which manner our data is going to stored in a shared preferences. So in a key value pair, in a key value pair. So one XML file is going to be created into your device, right? And it will be stored into your phone memory, and in that your data is going to be stored in a key value pair. So similarly, now we are going to discuss about the internal storage, right? So internal storage means there is your device memory, right? So whenever you are going to buy a phone, right, so in a configuration they are going to say that these are the internal memory available to you, right? So we are talking about that. If your content is more than that, then you have to go to buy for SD card, and with the use of that you can store the data in external storage, right? So that we see later on how you can store that. But right now we are dealing with the phone memory. So by default, files saved to the internal storage are private to your application. So what is the meaning of it? Suppose if I am storing this particular data for F1, so my F2 cannot access the data, right? My F2 cannot access the data of F1, right? So that is a private. You can share the data between these two applications. That is another way with the use of content provider. We'll see later on. But right now you need to remember that whenever you are dealing with the internal storage, so that your particular data is private to your application, right? And no other application or user can access it. Whenever the user uninstall your application, then these particular files are removed with that. Now, how we can perform this particular task? First of all, so this is a simple Java program, read and write files, right? But here, as we are dealing with the Android, it has some specific you can say classes. So to create and write a private file to internal storage, you have to call this particular class open file output, right? With the name you have to pass the parameter, that is a file name, and which mode, in which mode you want to store the data, right? You can also store the data publicly, but most probably we are going to store our data in a private. By default mode is a private mode, and it will return the file output stream. It will return the file output stream. So you are very well aware about this file output stream, file input stream, okay, in Java file concept. To write the particular file, we have write method, okay. So if I want to write some content into the file, then I can use the write method, and after completing the work I need to close the stream. So stream is also very known concept in Java for file input outputs, right? So after performing the task, you need to close that particular stream, right? So here one simple program I have written that I have one file name, that is hello underscore file string. I want to write this string into this particular file, right? And how we can perform this? So with the use of file name mode and string dot get bytes method. This is very simple logic, guys, to write the content into this particular specific file, right? So same concept we are going to use in our Android. Okay. Now mode private will create the file or replace a file with the same name and make it private to your application. Make it private to your application. Some another modes are available like append mode, right? So word readable, word writable. Okay, so this can be set according to your requirements. Okay, so this can be set according to your users requirement. Now, how to read the data? So if you want to read a file from the internal storage, then similarly, as we have used file output, then you have to use open file input and pass it the name of the file to be read, from which file you want to read the data. Now it will also return the file input stream, okay. And to read the data, we are going to use a read method. we are going to use a read method, and after completing the task, we are going to close it. So you can imagine that this is very similar to our Java's file input output concept. Okay, so it will be very easy for you guys to perform this particular task. One another concept is there is a saving cache files. So what is the purpose of saving cache files? So if you would to like to catch some data rather than storing it persistently continuously, you should use get cache directory. So when this particular concept is useful, so whenever your phone is in a low memory, right? So uh, this is a temporary, that particular represents internal directory where your application should save temporary cache files, right? So temporary storage is there. So whenever your device is low in the memory on internal storage space, Android may delete these cache files to recover the space. So Android automatically delete the cache files whenever your device is going to in a low internal space, right? And to recover a particular memory. Now, it is not the preferable way to continuously rely on our particular Android device, right? So you should not rely on the system to clean up these files for you, right? So what you can do, you should always maintain the cache files yourself, right? With the limited space, and stay within a reasonable limit space consumed with suppose say for 1 MB is enough for that, right? So when the user uninstalls your application, these files are also going to remove. Okay, so this way you can also perform the particular memory management into the Android, right? Now some other you can say useful methods we have. According to your requirement, you can use this. So get files directory, delete files, file list. So according to the name, it has the particular functionality, right? So now get directory means creates a directory within your internal storage space, right? So likewise, you can use this particular some useful methods. Okay, so this is about the particular, you can say, internal storage concept. Okay, now let's jump onto the practical example that how you can particularly.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in this particular example, this is very simple example, right? So what actually we are going to perform in this particular example, let's first execute this code so you can get the idea. So whenever I execute this code, I have one UI, right? So I need to enter the message over here. Then one button is for loading our data, and one button is for saving our data. So I have recently executed this code. So I have one file. So let me load the data from that file. So hello, welcome to Android is going to be there. Now let's first of all, you can say hello to internal storage. Okay. So I want to save the data, right? So file saved successfully. And if I again load the data, then you can see that hello to internal storage will be there. Okay, so later on I will tell you where this particular file is being stored into your phone memory, right? So how you can see that particular file. So these particular applications we are going to perform right now. So it is very simple, right? It is based on the file input output of Java classes. So if you have performed that, if you are aware of that particular class, then this is a very simple example for you. Now, this is my UI. There is a one edit text, two button I have, and one text view I have, right? So I have already taught you that how you can make your content, how you can apply the background shapes. Okay, So here I have created one background particular shape, and I have applied this particular shape into my text view. That's why it is coming like that. So beautiful, right? Now how you can create this? So you just need to go to the drawable resources. Now new drawable resources file you have to create, and into that you have to change default tag to the shape tag, right? So in this particular shape tag, you can apply this particular style. So this kind of nice UI will be there. Now this is of the design, simple design. Now let's jump onto the particular example. Okay, so first of all, I have edit text. So I need to create the reference text view. I need to create the reference, right? And with the use of find view by ID, I'm going to refer that, right? Now I have created a load data and save data method, right? So I have already taught you that there are different ways to do that. You can either set on click listener over here and you can perform this task, or you can just directly go to the XML file and you can provide the particular, you can say, on click method over here, save data and on click load data, you can see. So once you apply this, so in a main activity, you can create this particular function. Now, as this is a file input stream, output stream concept, there may be a chance of some exceptions, right? So compulsory, you have to use over here a try catch concept, okay, for that to handle the exception. Now, first of all, we are loading the data and we are saving the data. So let's see how you can first of all save the data, then we see how we can read the data. So to save the data, first of all, from where I am fetching that data? So I am fetching that data from the edit text. So I have already created a reference with this find view by ID. So I just need to store that particular text into one string, that is my data, right? So et.getText.toString. So this line will fetch the data from the edit text and store into the variables. Now our task starts. I want to write that particular data. So I need to use open file output. It returns the file output stream. So I need to create the object. I need to create the reference of it. So that will be stored into this file output stream. Two parameters I need to pass. One is my file name, right? This file name this file will be created automatically, right? So whatever name you are writing over here, that file is going to be created automatically. If file is already exists, then it will replace the content. Now here you need to provide the mode. So mode is a private. Okay, now we need to write the data. So we are going to use output stream writer class over here, right? So I need to create the object. So output string writer, and I need to pass the argument as a file output string, this reference. Okay, so which particular data I want to write. Now with the use of write method, here you can see with the use of write method, you just need to simply pass what you want to write. So this particular data I want to write. Okay, so with the use of write method you can perform. Then you need to flush the string because some buffer will be there, and after performing it you just need to close the string. Okay, and what I'm doing after that, I'm performing et.setText equal to null. So I'm clearing the edit text. Okay, and after that one simple notification I'm going to print, that is file saved successfully. Okay, so this is a very simple logic to write the content into the particular read file.txt file. Okay, now I want to read the data. So simple, you just need to create this load data function, right? And here again try catch I need to use. Okay, now for reading the data, I need to deal with the input string class. So file input string, and here you just need to write open file input, and only one parameter you need to pass, that is from which file you want to store the data, you want to read the data. So my file name is similar to this, the read file.txt. Now my reference is created. Now I need to create the input stream reader object, and I need to pass this reference to this particular file input stream. Okay, now our reading task will start. Okay, so first of all, I'm creating one character array, and I'm using a string builder class. So this is very important, guys, right? So we have three different classes: string, string buffer, and string builder, right? So in these three classes, you are aware of the differences between that three. Okay, so by using string builder class, we are simply using append method over here, and we can read the particular data. Okay, now this is a common logic for reading the data. So first of all, our read method will return the integer value. That's why I need to create the integer c. So you need to check what function will return what type of value, right? So if it is greater than 0, right, then what I need to do, I am going to use a copy value of function, right, from the 0, from the beginning to this particular read string, right? And I'm just appending that data. Okay, and here in which particular widget I want to display the data. So text view. So this is my reference tv dot set text and the particular string. And after that, I am just simply displaying the notification that this particular file is successfully, right? So this is very simple example, guys, right? You can see this much logic is required to execute this particular task. So let's execute this code again, and let's see what is happening. Okay, so this is our example. So previously we have changed the data, so hello to internal storage. Okay, and after that, if you want to write some different data, that only internal storage file concept. Okay, so you just save the data, file saved successfully, and you load the data. So internal storage file concept. Okay, now the next thing is where this particular data is actually resides. Okay, how you can check the data. So from the view, you can just go to the tool window and find the device file explorer, right? So this is our device file explorer for emulator, whatever. You just need to select which emulator currently you are running, right? Don't forget that. Okay, now here there is one data folder is there. Again, into that one data folder is there. Okay, and from here you just need to select the particular file. Where is my internal storage file? So that I need, okay, this is my internal storage file. Okay, this is my application package, and into that you can see one files folder is there, and this is our file, read file.txt. Now if I save this code, right, so desktop and save already is there, so I just need to replace it. Okay, I just go to the desktop, and I'm just opening this file with the VS code. Okay, so you can see that here internal storage file concept, right? This is our data. So is there any doubt in this particular application? Anyone, guys? So this way you can find the data, you can save the data into your internal code memory, right? So is there any doubt in this example, guys? Anyone?
No, sir.
Okay, right. So external file storage will cover in our next session, right? Tomorrow. Okay.